Hi, this is Firestarter, and this is another S.H. Figuarts review. Now we have Kamen Rider Knight in Survive mode, and this is the blue box as opposed to the old grayish design when you first saw Kamen Rider Knight in S.H. Figuarts form. And of course, he has all the nooks and crannies that you always see on any S.H. Figuarts figure, especially on Kamen Rider Ryuki figures. And at the back we still have the glass effect layout and so forth. Now let's move on to the rest of the review. Included in the pack are 7 advent cards, namely the Trick Vent, Survive, the Advent card, the Blast Vent, Sword Vent, Shoot Vent, and the Final Vent. Just like his base form, Kamen Rider Knight Survive also includes a Tamashii stage. Colors are now inverted to match the motif of the figure. And on top of that are 7 interchangeable hands and weapons, namely a dark visor and 2 kinds of dark blades. And lastly, part of the assembly are cape parts. Each pair should be snapped together to complete the whole form. The good thing is that you don't need to remove anything from Kamen Rider Knight Survive, as the pegs are inserted just on top of the plugs. Since these are made on hinges and pegs, you can spread those out to add drama as you play along with this figure. And we have arrived on the first half in making Kamen Rider Knight Survive as a whole. As mentioned earlier, there are 2 kinds of blades. But what is common is that both can be inserted with advent cards, and both hold these quite well. The shorter blade can be inserted on the dark visor to assume the form of the dark arrow. As long as you inserted the blade correctly, it won't fall off the visor. The visor can also take in advent cards, and you can do this in 2 ways. It's either you lift the crescent up and insert the card from the back, or take out the crescent entirely, insert the card in, and plug the crescent back on its place. Whichever weapon you use, what you are looking at are both highly decorated, perfectly painted, and absolutely shiny. And anyone could agree that these are one of the best looking armaments you'll ever see in the S.H. Figuarts line. And just a quick comparison between Kamen Rider Knight and Kamen Rider Knight Survive. And as you can see here, he is really outstanding as opposed to Kamen Rider Knight. The first time I saw Kamen Rider Knight, he's already good looking, but in Survive mode, he is like the blend of the blue and the golden paint applications really stand out on Kamen Rider Knight Survive. And most of the articulation parts and the engineering that went to the new figure shares the same with Kamen Rider Knight. So I'll put this one aside, and then let's take a look on Knight Survive. Pros and cons, quickly. The only thing that I really don't like about Kamen Rider Knight Survive are the cape parts. And the only way that you can remove it without lifting a lot of fingers is just pushing him back, and both are off the figure. So just like I mentioned, the only way that you could hold this together is just wrap around a piece of tissue or paper and then inserting it at the back of Kamen Rider Knight Survive, and it will hold. Definitely it will hold. So some of the articulation points on this figure would be the head, and then we have the shoulder pads going up and down, arms go forward and back with some limitations because of the accent here, but it does go side to side very well. And then we have upper joint and waist. Really follows Kamen Rider Knight, and he has a great articulation on this area. This is loose, so it would not hinder most of the waist articulation and double jointed things and whatnot, since it follows Kamen Rider Knight. So it's not worth mentioning if you have seen my review of Kamen Rider Knight. And then this piece over here, the deck, can be removed as well, and then can be inserted back, and it holds perfectly on the belt, so that's great. And just giving a quick tour on the figure, there's no need for you to remove any piece on Kamen Rider Knight when you put on the accessories. The only thing is that you always need to plug in the visor onto the arm because there's no extra peg or extra plug here that you can use for this arm. So you always need to use this dark visor. And that's all you need to know about Kamen Rider Knight Survive. I really do feel cheated by Bandai because they have released a lot of Tamashii Web exclusives and regular released figures that are either crappy or lack the accessories that I can work with. At the end of the year, Tamashii Nations has brought us another really great figure to add to your growing Ryuki collection. Against all the figures that I have reviewed this year in the S.H. Figuarts line, this is the only figure that I have just one, really just one complaint. And that is just a minor nitpick against what he really has to offer. Kamen Rider Knight Survive has smooth lines coupled with metallic and shiny paint applications, and the mixture of gold and blue colors really makes Kamen Rider Knight Survive stand out against the rest. And to conclude, this really has my seal of approval. And that is my review of Kamen Rider Knight Survive in the S.H. Figuarts line. Again, if you want to know the possibilities, you can always check out the photos at the end of the video, and always read my written review on my blog spot. This is Firestarter. Thank you very much for watching, and see you on my next review.